I'm Haley Taylor, and you're listening to the Rough Draft Diaries. Last week on the Rough Draft Diaries, our guest was a New Yorker, and he nominated other New Yorkers to be on the program. But they never returned my emails or my phone calls, so it looks like the Rough Draft Diaries is not destined to stay in the Big Apple. So I brought the series back to Northwest Ohio and decided to take the show in a direction we've never gone before. The final frontier, space. You're listening to the beginning of a planetarium show at Bowling Green State University.
If we spin the sky too fast, we can get people dizzy.
That's Dr. Dale Smith. He's the first and only planetarium director at BGSU. It opened in 1984, the planetarium that is. And he's also a professor of astronomy.
Now, I grew up in a small village of 200 where the sky was dark, and it still is dark once you're away from the streetlights. It's as dark as it was 60 years ago. But most of us live in urban environments. We lose 75% of the stars to light pollution. And my friends up at UT have it even worse than that. And so in a certain sense, the planetarium is a zoo trying to bring the starry night inside.
Planetariums became popular around the turn of the 20th century with star projectors located in the center of the room. Dr. Smith mentioned with that equipment, you can bring stars inside, but with the expanding new technology planetariums can offer, you can now bring the universe inside with full dome video. That's a video projected around the full dome of the planetarium, creating this 360 immersive experience.
So it's this full dome video is the coming technology. It's got to the point we've got nice sharp images across the whole dome. We do, UT does. And so you can bring any topic you want to. I precede the show with a live star talk. Not recorded, just here's the stars, here's the sky, pointer, and I talk about them and do questions. And then we go to the full dome show, which can be on any topic you want, and then do questions after that. So we're bringing, it sounds like a cliche, but we're bringing the wonders of the whole universe inside.
The planetarium is used by students year-round, but the shows are available to the general public throughout the school year, that's September to May. Dr. Smith mentioned he sees a variety of audience members within that school year, which is good because for him, it means the common idea that science can be scary is being broken down.
I think one reason people are scared of science is, well, there's math connected with it, and people are scared of math. I happen to like math, so that doesn't scare me off. But in a lot of shows, we're telling a story. A story is a way to reach people. And if we're telling stories, not only kids, but the adults like the stories. And it's a way to connect. And also a way to show that science isn't just a collection of facts, but it's a way of understanding the universe around us.
So, for example, here's the story of a constellation you may know, the Big Dipper.
As you probably know, the Big Dipper is part of a much larger constellation, Ursa Major, the Large Bear. And so you have this bear with an ordinary bear body and a very long bear tail. And so there's the story of how did the bear get in the sky and how did the bear get a long tail? And it was Zeus, it's a complicated story, but needed to get a bear up in the sky. And Zeus was immortal, so he couldn't be killed, but he could be bit and injured by a bear. And so where do you go on the bear to be safe? Well, you pick the bear up by his tail. And you spin the bear around. He got the bear going fast enough that when he let go, it flew up into the sky, and the tail got stretched out in the process.
Dr. Smith believes these stories help us connect better to the constellations, which in turn help us to connect better with each other, our past, and even our future.
If you remember a couple of the constellations they show you, then somebody that's watching the sky in San Francisco, in Madrid, Spain, is going to see the same sky. Or somebody watching in Japan, or in Afghanistan. As you go east, as you go north and south, it changes. As you go east and west, the sky stays the same. So it connects us around the world. And it's the same sky that our grandparents saw, and the same sky that our grandchildren will see, if there's not too much light pollution. And so the sky connects us across the time zones, and across the generations. And that's why it's important.
That just about wraps up this episode of the Rough Draft Diaries, but here are Dr. Smith's connections for the next episode.
The Marine Biology Lab here at BGSU, one suggestion. Another one is the Wood County Historical Museum. And the third one is the Walcott House Museum in Maumee.
You'll have to tune in next time to find out who I pick. Before you go, here's one last fun tip that Dr. Smith shared with me. How many constellations are there? Well, all you have to do is think of how many counties there are in Ohio and how many keys there are on a piano. The answer's 88. I'm Haley Taylor, and thanks for listening to this episode of the Rough Draft Diaries.